fact for me, and I'm going to tie Joe Hagan into this, is Beetlejuice, who's a very good friend of mine, actually launched his career right after leaving Howard Stern's show in Joe Hagan's boardroom in 1998.
Is that right? I never knew that.
That is 100% right. And at that point, Beetlejuice was always known to be wearing his Eric Dickerson jersey that would fit Joe Hagan, but Beetlejuice was wearing it every day.
It is unreal. And by the way, it is Fun Friday in the house, Ken Van Liew. Back to you, sir.
Oh, I love it. Gina, since you were talking about dancing on the bar or something there, why don't you tell us what's up with you?
Oh, well, hey, sorry? Yeah. Well, I'm just here to say hello and welcome everybody. I called a bunch of you. I am now the Real Raw Open coordinator. So here for anything you have questions about, or if you want to run your own, please email me, call me. I left my number there. I might have danced on a bar or two in the Belmar, New Jersey area, or but we won't go there right now.
Yeah, or around a bonfire in Long Beach Island like a month ago at like midnight, or
like
exactly,
or that maybe screaming at the top of my lungs, singing "Born to Run" with Joe Hagan, possibly.
Yeah.
What happens in LBI stays in LBI. But I'll tell him I got knocked over by the wave. Joe Hagan saved me from drowning. Karen, you got the floor, baby. Go ahead. Performance rock star. What's up? My coach.
Hi, guys. I'm Karen Glass, and I'm a certified dream builder coach. And what that is I simply help people build their dreams and turn it into reality. And I absolutely love what I do. And a fun fact about me is I live in Orlando, and I am scared of lizards.
Oh, those little geckos running all around.
Exactly. What was I thinking leaving New Jersey? I miss you guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to the house.
Thank
you. Awesome. Fun fact. That's awesome. Miss Julie Houston, I want, the backbone, you don't know what she's doing behind the scenes, but everybody's just rocking it out, and it's all because of Julie behind the scenes. Go ahead, Jules.
So I am Julie Houston. I am from the Houston area, originally from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I do work with a lot of clients in the real estate space. I manage their affiliate marketing, their content management, and media exposure for podcasts and things of that nature. I love having some great, strong people that carry integrity that I work with. It's a very important factor. And fun fact, do you want like something that happened or just like a fun, quirky fact?
It could be anything.
So when I was in the military, I went to like the NEX store. It's like the military base store. And I walked in, I like ran in real quick and I tripped Jessica Simpson on the floor, totally embarrassed. And you'll find, I find humor in everything. Like that's how I get through most days. And she ended up taking a picture with me, but that was kind of a funny thing that happened.
Yeah.
Julie, that is awesome. And thank you for your service.
Yeah. And just so you know, Julie, when she says she manages, these are people that they won't talk to you unless you do like $1 million a month. So Julie's like rocking it. Like, so that's what we want to graduate into Julie's world. Next, Michelle, break into my life, baby.
Hey, Ken. I'm so excited to be back. I really am grateful for meeting this community. So a little bit about me. So I have the trifecta of mental health. I grew up with my mother who was bipolar. I experienced depression, and I helped my company shift its culture. And what I'm out to do is make a massive difference and create compassion in the world. And a little bit about a fun fact about me. I love to get dirty. I'm a potter. I'm a teacher of a pottery wheel instructor, and also a student.
Drop of the mic. Well, welcome. And that is some fun stuff. The trifecta is in the house of overcoming. Congratulations on that. And what are you up to in the world right now in terms of supporting people and working through those things?
Yeah, so I shift cultures within workplaces to create more compassion for employees with invisible disability.
Drop it in. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
Valerie Reed.
My goodness. I am so glad to be here. And I had a Friday night with all you wonderful, real, raw people getting prepped for the show. So anyway, my name is Valerie Reed, and Ken mentioned that I have a background in corporate America. I was actually at Deloitte, not Deutsche, but these are the same, and was a management consultant. And now I'm a co-founder and CEO of Bradley Willow LLC. And it's not a happy fun fact, but we do bring peace of mind to families because we work in the cremation services space. So we match consumers with funeral homes and really treat them with love and kindness and give them peace of mind in a very hard time for them. And what I'm up to in the world is really building the company out, being a role model. I have twin girls and a son. So really knowing that, girl power all the way. We can do whatever we want and have it all. And a fun fact about me is I lived in London for about 12 years, and I brought back a fabulous souvenir, 6-foot Mark Twainman, my husband. So there you go. He's British.
Boom. British your husbands, like trifectas of dealing with overcoming of mental health and invisible disabilities. It's a normal fun Friday, Ken, on the Real Raw.
Right.
Yeah. Well, wait to hear the next two. It gets better and better. We have you've met this gentleman before, Dr. Agrios, author of Life's One Law. He's up to some of the biggest things in the world. I met him in Jack Canfield's living room. Dr. Phil, go ahead.
Hi, Bernie. Great to be here. Thanks again. I went from doctor to consultant because I was able to discover a particular protective trait that we're all born with that actually protects us from the actual success that we seek. And throughout those years of decades, and thousands of people, I was able to really find the combination to switch it immediately from protection to growth. And fun fact, I got married about a month ago.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy
Congratulations.
It was a fun fact, Doctor.
Yep.
Awesome. Ken.
Next, New York Times bestseller, Dolph DeRue.
Oh, thanks, Ken. It's a real pleasure to be here. I just get in awe of meeting everyone, so thank you. I'm the international guy. I went to school in 6 countries. I've lived in another 7. I use an aeroplane, well, before the pandemic, the way most people use an Uber. And my passion is to get people into the mode of having passive income. That's what I've devoted my life to. I go around the world teaching that. And as a sideline, I've sort of uncovered that most people have something that's blocking them, that's stopping them from going forward. And I love uncovering that and removing it so that they can truly soar. A fun fact for me is, and I've never revealed this before, I have slept with cannibals. And in case you're thinking I mean carnally, I don't mean that at all, but I ended up in Papua New Guinea, 2 weeks travel from civilization, and I woke up and realized where I was. And I'm telling you, when you get invited to breakfast for the first time, you do a double take, thinking if it's a good idea or not.
Well, thank you for that, Rob Gill. You're not the only one.
That's unbelievable.
Understood.
I actually thought you were going to say you slept with Ken, but you kept on going with cannibals. So I was a little concerned there for a second. So,
next, Gabe, give it to us, babe.
All right. The energy is amazing. Best Zoom call I've been on all week. I've been on about a dozen. Gabe De Silva, diagnosed ADD, hypomanic, recovered alcoholic and drug addict, real estate investor, developer, educator, looking to work with Julie, looking to grow my impact online to that level. I hate running, but I run marathons. That's my fun fact. Zeroed out twice as an entrepreneur and never, ever going back. My worst day on this side is better than my best day in corporate.
Awesome, brother.
Amazing.
Gabe, welcome. Love it.
Thank you.
Ken, awesome people, man. Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, no, well, it's all because of you, my brother. You make us all step up. Joe Hagan, give us some feedback.
The illustrious one.
The illustrious Joe Hagan. Joe, just by the way, has transformed our morning huddle calls with Og Mandino tips this week and just great inspiration. And he's also a father of twins. I love you, Joe.
That's what he does.
Love you too. I had the fortune of coaching a whole lot of great people, none other than Big Sugar Rob Gill on his phone. And I got to tell you, the optics of having Beetlejuice walk around a boardroom in Dickinson, Jersey, telling people to get the hell back on the phone is probably one of the most funniest things I've ever witnessed. You have to witness it to appreciate it. At first, I was kind of against it, but then it was just too much laughter. And so, yeah, I spent 20 years on Wall Street, developing clients, developing brokers and advisors. You know, a lot of personal things happen around me as far as, you know, my wife's illness, and then September 11th, and I literally worked from home. From Red Bank here where I am now, and transformed my business a lot more into private equity, alternative investing. And along the way, had the best time, not only coaching guys like Rob Gill, but coaching my kids football, baseball, my daughter's softball teams. And I have 5 kids in total. And, you know, they're my why. And I guess I would say to you, you know, I had a level of influence, mastery, and achievements. The Unblinded World has helped take it to another level when you add in process mastery, in addition to self-mastery. But a fun fact about me is I probably wouldn't have thought about this, you know, hanging out in the locker rooms, playing football and rugby, and being in a whole lot of those Belmar street fights that TTP was talking about. And they never happened for me in Belmar. I was just a kid back then, but it typically happened in the Bronx growing up. But all that being said, all that being the youngest of 4 boys in a bedroom growing up in the Bronx, one of my favorite things to do these days is I go get a pedicure with my daughters, and I love watching everyone's reaction when I sit there and walk around with those, you walk around with those things between your toes, everyone's like,
what's your favorite color of toenail polish?
Clear.
Clear. All right. Woo! KVL. It's rocking on Fun Friday.
Yeah, Love Doctor. Hit it up.
Yeah, I was suicidal in 2008, and I had immense support from my family, and I realized the impact family can have. So I help families reunite, heal, and really live this beautiful life. I've spoken on stages all over the world, 18 countries, 8 languages, bestseller book, Harvard, Fox News. Richard Branson's been to my event. I played tennis with him. But above all else, I can't remember what I'm going to say. I'm a rock star, but I like to have fun. And my fun fact is, I too live in Orlando, and my pet peeve are cockroaches, but I dispatch my wife to get rid of them.
All right, let's ask this, Anil. Anil, what is the difference between a palmetto bug and a cockroach? Is it like the same thing, and they just make it sound nicer in Florida?
You'll have to ask my wife. I get nowhere near them.
All right. AVL.
We have one more introduction. Yes. The transformation engineer, Joseph Varghese.
Awesome to be here. So many great people here, great minds. So excited to be here, my friend. I'm a process engineer. My background is where I used to be. I figured out how to be an entrepreneur 15, 16 years ago. And what I do is I launch a community called Success Circles. We're about integrating self and process mastery, ideas, having a huddle each day, making 1% progress each and every day, noticing how that compounds over time. So built a framework around compound growth across all areas of life. That's my passion. A fun fact about me. So I've studied improv for 3 years, leaving the engineering world, getting out of my left brain into my right brain. And back in February this year, one of my members of Success Circles gifted me a week-long intensive for musical theater improv. And every day I pick up my 5-year-old daughter, I wake her up, I sing to her, "You're my sunshine." And then I break into this musical, I make it up in the spot, and it wakes her up. It gets her engaged every day, excited for her day in front of her. And it just brought so much more laughter into her life, being able to do it every single day, musical theater. So that's my fun fact.
Awesome, brother.
That's awesome. Joseph, thank you. And I've been friends with Joseph for 20 years. I've watched him grow from just a single engineer to marrying a doctor to having a family. And it's just great to have you on board. And Joseph also had Sean on his show this week. So for our success in New York City Power Team. But let's just dive in the interest of time. I'd like to, really today is to have a role play where we bring someone from hello to yes. You get to, do things like, for example, I want to start with Michelle, and Anil's going to be the facilitator. So Michelle's basically going to say, Anil is say someone you're calling on the phone that had some interest, maybe about Trifecta. You could tell him who you want Anil to be. But let's start out with Love Doctor and Michelle with a little role play to demonstrate. Is that? Good with you there, Michelle? I know I like.
Of course. I'm a yes, of course.
All right.
So,
So I'm going to be the time key. I'll tell you what, Gina, can you keep time? 3 minutes or?
Yeah, a TTP is going to help me out with that because I go on to the next one in a few minutes. So we won't see me here in a few minutes, but TTP is going to take it.
And cool. I could do it too. I could do the first one. Matter of fact, let's start the timer right now. 3 minutes. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay. An HR business partner, Anil, for me to get into a company. So, hi, Neil. Thank you so much for your interest in wanting to connect with me today.
No, it's my pleasure, Michelle.
So what had you say yes to my request to connect for 20 minutes and have a conversation?
You know, I looked on your LinkedIn profile and I found it very interesting. You had a lot of endorsements and recommendations, and people had nice words to say about you.
Oh, thank you. Could you tell me maybe a little bit about how is your company doing? How are your employees doing right now, going through the pandemic? Do you have a sense of how they're doing?
You know, I feel that we've got things handled, and we're very confident about the present, but we're a little bit uncertain about the future.
Yeah, you know, it's a very interesting time. I think a lot of companies and employees are just trying to navigate the pandemic, working from home. The frightening fact is that 1 in 3 are dealing with either depression or anxiety. And that is in stark difference to before the pandemic. It was said 1 in 5 would experience a mental illness in their lifetime. So it's a really scary time. And I wanted to sort of just see, like, what are you doing for your employees right now around their well-being to keep them sort of empowered and engaged in their work?
You know, at the moment, we really don't have a game plan. We've just been trying to keep afloat and, all hands on deck. Do you have a program?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you'd be interested in sort of providing a mental mindset and resilience tips to your employees to sort of help them navigate the day-to-day. Like working from home in isolation can be very daunting. So I'm wondering if maybe my resilience program would be something that would help your employees.
I would be interested, but it has to be very user-friendly, and it has to be something that we can really implement very quickly.
Yeah, so the investment is 2 hours. It's done in 2 parts. There's a first part we do 1 week and a second part the next week. And it's literally 1 hour of tangible tools and then resources. I really am focused on having people get present to how they're feeling and then giving them tools that they can implement very easily for themselves and their families. And then also connecting them to mental health resources in the event they find they need clinical support.
That sounds interesting. Is there any gamification in there?
You know, we do have an accountability program woven in where we can create connection because people are really scattered. So it facilitates connection and accountability. So we do sort of gamify it in that way.
Okay, now that sounds very interesting.
Would you like me to send you some information about it and perhaps a proposal?
Yeah, if you send it to me and my HR director, that would be very welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. So you were at 3 minutes and 15. It was perfect. Below the yes. How did that feel, Michelle? And I'm going to just give it to some judges here. How did that feel?
Terrifying. It's still terrifying, but
okay.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit more confident. So that's really what I want to do. So thank you.
Jay Levine, can you give some feedback relative to the formula and give Judge, this is like our Olympic scoring here.
A quick 30 seconds, right? Judges?
Yep. Real quick. So I liked how you started with the question, what made you say yes? It kind of got that yes momentum moving forward as well. There was a question, there was something where he said about the future, and I felt like you could have dug in to say, like, what does the future look like for you? Because after that, the next part of the conversation was something he said there was no game plan. So if he told you what the future looked like and it was bright and then he had no game plan, you could have put something at stake for him to say, well, if you want that future but you have no game plan, what happens if you don't get there? But otherwise, certainty, clarity, awesome score would be an 8.5.
Awesome. Joe Hagan.
Yeah, let me defer on time integrity to TTP, only because I spoke with Michelle earlier today.
Got it.
And
Okay, so I was not making notes because I did not think I was judging you, but I will tell you this, Michelle. You, from last time 2 weeks ago that I saw you to today, you are almost like a completely different person. You feel so much more at ease in your own like presentation. And I just want to tell you, like that was like, for me, I was just private messaging you to tell you that you just seem so much more like yourself. And so that I want to acknowledge. And I would say overall for me, it was a 9.
Awesome.
So time integrity, Ken, I spoke with her earlier today and I want to say the same thing, but much more God is coming from TTP. You're a different person from the last time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gabe, are you ready to step up? You're going to role play with Anil. You could tell Anil who you want him to be to take him from hello to yes.
All right, give it a shot. This is my first time doing this.
No problem. This is fun. Tell, who do you want Anil to be?
I want Anil to be a tired corporate employee looking to foray into the real estate investment world.
Perfect. TTP, you'll facilitate the next person. I'll do time and then you'll get the next one because you can pick the next participant.
Yeah,
So Gabe,
whatever you want me to do, I'm good.
got it. So Gabe and Anil, you guys are on starting now.
So Anil, do you watch a lot of HGTV?
Actually, I do.
And the home flipping shows, do they speak to you in any way?
You know, the stuff that they do is it's like 6 months' salary.
Yeah, right. So it is, and it can be. And so obviously they glorify a lot of what it is that takes place in the field and how it is that it's actually done. But there is some truth to what it is that they do there. And so has that ever been an interest of yours in possibly doing that outside of what it is that you do in your day to day?
You know, I like using my hands, but I've never had the confidence. I think, what happens if I mess up? I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, a lot of it has to do with you don't necessarily have to have a dozen years of construction experience, so long as you know how to qualify the right contractor partners, which is something that we've spent a good number of years building a system around. And so that's something I'd like to work with you on and kind of coach you through. Is it something that you'd be interested in pursuing in the form of a joint venture partnership with a developer partner?
I want to have the safest option. What do you recommend is the safest option to start with?
Right. That's an excellent point. In putting money at risk in the form of a collateralized debt instrument and in lending to us on a project, you would have visibility into the project to understand how it is that we do what we do, but you'd have the safety and protection that comes from having it backed by an asset. So our Learn and Earn program is actually built just for that, and it won't require the swinging of any hammers or anything like that. And it would yield you a return while affording you the ability to learn and see if this is something you actually want to go out and do on your own.
So it's something I could do while I'm still in employment, because, eventually I want to get out of here. It's just too stressful. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I don't know how long they're going to keep me.
Yeah. The beauty of it is, and I'll be frank with you, the 8% return on your $100,000 investment isn't going to change your life, but the visibility into how it is that we do a 6-figure flip could, if you choose to go and then do those on your own, once you then understand the process. And so we have plenty of investors that are with us that are doing this in parallel with working full time.
Okay, so if I do this investment, will the next one be something that I could use to flip something?
Yeah, our intention would be that you grow to
10 seconds.
Like the process enough to want to joint venture with us on the next one.
And you'll be there to guide me?
Absolutely, yes.
Fantastic. I love that.
Time.
I went in a different direction. Where I was going when we first started to where I ultimately wound up was not planned. I don't know if it sounded that way, but
that was exceptional, Gabe. I would like to bring in two judges to give you some great feedback. Mr. Gill, can you give us some feedback there?
Sure. How you doing, Gabe? Nice to meet you. Great knowledge of what you do. Great tonality, great speed and cadence, good back and forth. What I've learned through this formula was all of that, which I just described as a unique heroic identity, building rapport in the initial portion of whatever this call is, to lead maybe to another appointment to get to where you got to on this call, has something that has changed my world. And we went from 8 to 150 meetings a month because of this. But I thought you did phenomenal. I would give you a 9.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Joe Hagan, Judge Joe Hagan.
Yes, I'm right there with Rob Gill regarding the cadence and the speed and the tonality. I would say that he started talking about some things where Dr. Neal opened up about the safety and the employment. He could have dug into the report a little bit early, but at that point, then he could ask for permission to tell him what he does as far as heroic, unique identity and the feature benefits of the product and what he does. But I really do love the fact that he's like, look, like what I used to tell clients, the same thing, like, you're not going to get a gold watch and retire here. He kept it realistic where he's going to learn, he's going to make some money, and he's going to have visibility to take that to where he wants to go, which is not stuck in his employment. So there was a connection there. It just could have happened a lot sooner, like Rob said, with the heroic, unique identity. And I also give you a 9.
Excellent. Hey, Ken, I just want to jump in for 2 minutes because I'm going to launch another amazing Real Raw Open in a couple moments. And I just want to contextualize what's happening. Cool?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're having fun. We're talking about influence, and it is fun. Like, the whole idea of this is to have fun and great energy, but there's something at stake. And what's at stake is our money, our time, and our magic, because influence is truly a superpower, and its impact is not linear, but it's exponential. So that sounds hyperbolic and Rob Gill just said he went from 8 to 150 meetings a month, right? Or 175 even. And I want to drop in on this for 2 minutes to have us present to what's at stake. And guess who? We never speak again, right? Because we want to have super valuable takeaway. Our influence is not a part of who we are. It's not even close to the same for people. So when I first realized this, I'm not going to go into my backstory, was when I would witness people working in my law firm when I first started 3 months out of law school. And some people were making millions of dollars a year and had been there for 15 years. And some people were making a couple $100,000 a year and had been there for 15 years. And I'm not the greatest in calculus. I failed freshman high school geometry for the year, but I do know that $2.5 million a year is more than 10 times, about 12 times more than $200,000 a year. And I had no idea why that would be. And the answer, of course, was because those are the guys that generated business. And as I kind of went forward in life, I realized this and had some very unique outcomes in my life of scaling law firms and building things. And I'll give you 3 quick examples, though. But first, I'll share this fact that money works like this in America. The 99th percentile, we hear about the top 1%. People fight about the top 1%. Well, you be in the top 1% and live in Bergen County, New Jersey, or Orange County, California, and make $400,000 a year, put you in the top 1% nationally. In those communities, that makes you pretty poor, top 1%. But if you're in the top 0.1%, you make 1.7 million times 0.01% makes 7.8 million, 0.001%, you make $56 million, 140x differential between the top 1% and the top 0.001%. Exponential differential. And influence is the core reason. Our ability to market, sell, and lead. Final on this. When I first hired people to begin building a training and development company after I successfully exited my first law firm, I hired 4 people. And they worked for 2 weeks and competed. The first person booked 0 meetings. The second person booked 0 meetings. The third person booked 0 meetings. What each of them told me was that the leads were bad, the offer was bad, the opportunity was bad, this was bad, that was bad. And the fourth guy, his name is Greg DiPietro, and he's been with me for more than 15 years, right? Greg came in and booked in those 2 weeks 30 meetings. And by the way, there's no number you can multiply times 0 to get to 30. So Greg wasn't better in a linear way. He wasn't even better in an exponential way. He was infinitely better than the other 3, but not as a person, probably not even in work ethic and heart and caring and love, but just in the superpower of influence. Final top jury verdict of the last decade. I have the unique privilege of my firm having created in a just, beautiful, and incredible way. We were told by jury verdict consultants, experts in the field, we'd be lucky to get $1 million, and we ever got to 3 million to take it. Our jury verdict was $27 million. And that's because we ran multiple rounds of mock trials, micro distinction innovations within this formula, 10x the outcome that actually happened. And we could keep playing that game all day long. Stages of Tony Robbins, rooms raising money for charity, all of those things. So while we're having fun, which I love having fun, like if it's not fun, why do it? Let's also realize that our money, our time scaling, our freedom, people coming to work with us, and the magic, the impact, the contribution, raising money for charity, all those things surround the very superpower we're playing with. So Ken, thank you so much for some of this amazing group of people. Thank you guys for being here today. Judges, TP, Rob, Gil, Anil, Jay, all you guys, you fine folks, Joe Hagan, thank you so much for everything. And Ken, let's all remember, we're all blind and just learn to see. Thanks, brother.
Great. So I'm going to